KUAM News Hotspot is brought to you by
Pacific Points, Do More, Get More, and Calvo Enterprises, Inc.
Half a day, and it is Tuesday here on the island. We are KUAM, coming to you from our Harmon studios. If you are laboring to watch us, if you're in the mainland, we wish you a happy day off from your normal work day. Here is the hotspot. Let's go.
The menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the Fresh Garden Bar.
We are going to get you up to speed on the fact that a Monday evening fire destroyed a home over in Mighty. We'll also tell you about the Cruise for a Cause event, whose mission educates the importance of protecting our island's water and land. If you love the good bard himself, Shakespeare, you will love UOG's performance of the Tempest in Guam's native tongue. And we also bring you round 2 of Candidate Conversations. But right off the top, very, very unfortunate news as a husband and wife are without a place to call home today after a fire destroyed their wood and tin shack Monday night. It happened around 9 p.m. just off East O'Brien Drive in the central village of Mighty. Our Nick Delgado was nearby when he noticed the smoke and called the 911 service. Firefighters with GFD arrived shortly after to put out the flames, but the structure had already been completely demolished, as you see in the images on your screen. Very, very aggressive fire. Rose De Reyes and her husband were outside at the time the place they've been living at for 5 years caught fire. She said she was burning cardboard egg cartons inside to keep the mosquitoes away and believes that may have been what sparked it. Her husband tried to control the flames using a hose, but it had already gotten out of control. Fortunately, both were not injured. We will have more on this tonight. Protection for our island's water and the land in the area. The military plans to build a live firing range is the mission of one group who invited dozens of locals to take part in their Cruise for a Cause event going from Hagåtña to Litexen. One of those in attendance was Nick Delgado and joined them on their trip to the northern point of the island to see where our water could potentially be in danger.
Buenas and Hafade. My name is Isabella Olalia and I am one of the Protect Guam Water organizers.
Showing respect for our island, Protect Guam Water organizers Isabella Olalia and Hani Sanchez led a group of others Saturday, pushing off from the Hagåtña Boat Basin, heading to the most northern part of the island.
We're going down to the north in front of the firing range to show people what is being harmed, how it's going to harm us in the future, and what we can do to stop it.
Protect Guam Water and Inspire Mariana's officials loading 2 boats to let anyone who is interested see for themselves. And the moment we arrive, more show of respect and pride is given. The military plans to build a massive firing range in this pristine part of Guam. Many that call Guam home continuously pushed back as the range complex is over the northern Guam Lens Aquifer. The group saying it provides 85% of the island with its fresh drinking water, adding the military would be firing millions of lead bullets over the aquifer each year. Olalia is trying to stop that from happening.
Honestly, who wants to live in a community or home that doesn't have clean resources? Our resources here as a Chamorro people are inherently us because we believe that they are our ancestors, and so one, there's a obligation to protect that, but then there's just a health aspect to it of like, of course I want to drink clean water and I want the future generations to have clean water, for my family, my friends, and my loved ones to have clean water.
Her message is clear, as she admits she does not have confidence the federal government has the local community's best interest at heart.
There's a history with the federal government, specifically like DOD, with contamination of natural resources. Like for example, Red Hill in Hawaii, that's like a really huge impact that it had on their people. And that's not something that I want to happen here.
It matters to me because I just want a safe future for me. If I have any kids, for my siblings, for my family, I don't want our island to be harmed by outside people. What I hope they can learn from this is just how severely this will impact us, not just the Chamorro people and the people that are currently living here, but also the visitors from outside, the military and their families. And I just hope that what we say will truly impact them so that they can impact others and that it would be like a domino chain.
Since the event, Protect Guam's Water's online petition highlighting their mission, received more than 6,300 signatures. The petition addressed to the U.S. Senate Committee on Armed Services, the Secretary of Interior, and the Guam legislature. Nick Delgado, KUAM News.
More Guam news in just a moment, but nationally, the manhunt in Canada is intensifying as police search for two men accused of a stabbing spree that left 10 people dead. The attacks happened Sunday in and around Saskatchewan. Here's more.
Canadian police are vowing to track down two suspects wanted in one of the deadliest mass killings in the nation's history. Damian Sanderson and Miles Sanderson are on the run, accused of stabbing and killing multiple people.
This kind of violence, or any kind of violence, has no place in our country.
Authorities are asking for help.
We are confident that someone out there knows the whereabouts of these two and has information that would be valuable to the police.
Authorities say the first stabbing took place at about 5:40 a.m. on Sunday, and within minutes they were notified of the others across the James Smith Cree Nation. Police say there are at least 13 different crime scenes.
There's a lot of grief. There's a lot of anxiety in our province and in our communities.
Doreen Lees believes one of the suspects knocked on her front door after authorities sent out a phone alert.
He had, it looked like his coat over his face, and he said, I need somebody to take me to the hospital. My mouth has been hurt. And I said, well, let's see. And he says, no, it's real bad. I can't show you.
Lee says she did not help the man. Both suspects were last spotted together about 200 miles south in Saskatchewan's capital, Regina. Police so far don't have a motive. Thalia Perez, CBS News, New York.
And it's a new week, which means we have a new topic for you. Make sure to join the conversation on Facebook and Instagram and sound off on this week's weekly question, in which we are asking what infrastructure would you like to see on Guam as far as project goes. So that is the topic. Make sure to jump in. Lots of infrastructure here on Guam. Could be internet, could be roads, could be waterways, whatever. Let us know. Open-ended questions, so we are very much looking forward to hearing your responses. All right, please stay tuned because coming up next, All the World's a Stage, and William Shakespeare himself is being presented in Guam's native tongue. Can't wait to tell you all about that. Michelle Bloss joins me next on the HotSpot.
Dance party.
Let's go.
When inspiration strikes, say yes with the new Priority Unlimited credit card from First Hawaiian Bank. Wherever you shop, whatever you're shopping for, you can earn 2% cash back on everything you buy. From small stuff to big stuff to stuff you want. A card that rewards you for every purchase and helps you stay connected to everything that matters.
Half a day. I'm Kelina from Docs Kitty College.
And I'm Kristen from Docs Daycare and Preschool.
And we are so honored to be caring for the children of Guam. The Governor's Child Care programs help businesses like ours to really focus on the kids. These programs also help nonprofits and after-school programs and grandparents and so many families.
Visit www.guamchildcare.com to learn more about the Governor's Child Care programs. This ad is paid for with funds administered by DPHSS.
With Pacific Points, your everyday expenses could be helping you save. Earn points at Shell, Foodies Guam, and IT&E. Then redeem for awesome rewards. Want free fuel from Shell or snacks from Foodies Guam? What about discounts on your IT&E bill, free IT&E prepaid cards, or United Mileage Plus miles? Sign up for free today. Visit PacificPoints.com or download the app. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Subscribe to our KOAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KOAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KOAM Communications. Go to KOAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam on Demand.
Welcome back to the Hotspot, everybody. The show must go on, as my guest now in the KOM News Zoom room is well aware. The very lovely, the one and only Michelle Blas, unleashing the creativity and the expressionism, the ability to tap into those emotions that each and every one of us as human beings will all feel at some point in our lives. Michelle, Hafaday, welcome. I have been waiting to talk to you about the fact that you guys have, your latest production is a podcast version of Shakespeare's The Tempest. In Chamorro.
Right. In Chamorro.
What a concept.
The first of its kind ever in the world. So what's really amazing is, you know me and theater.
Yep.
And I love
you are the stage.
Yeah. Oh, you're so sweet. And I just thought, how fun to like hear a Shakespeare play in Chamorro, because I don't know if most people know this, but Shakespeare plays have been translated into so many languages.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, really, what about Chamorro? So I did the research. I was just curious, and I'm like, nope, Chamorro's not on here. And I said, man, what a cool thing. And I contemplated this maybe like 5 years ago, right? And I didn't think that it was a project that I would do myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, later on, I said, well, why not? Why can't I do it myself?
Why not me? Right?
Why not me? I mean, because if it's the passion that I have, then who better to do it than me? So
exactly, and in your capable hands, I think this would be like the perfect way to actually get this on the Wikipedia article of, yes, there is a Shakespearean work in native Chamorro. But tell me, Michelle, how difficult was it to actually take all of those words in Old English and and then kind of like transpose those over to was it? Yeah, because a lot of people even believe there's two types of Chamorro, and you know this as well as anybody, right? There's like street Chamorro, and then there's like academic Chamorro, and if you get the two confused, you can kind of ruffle some feathers with some people in our community.
Yeah, and for me, like what we do in theaters, we tell stories. We're storytellers.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't gonna get caught up in the academic stuff, and for me, I don't know if it's the same with you. I know, Jason, you're Chamorro too. Can you speak your language fluently?
Fluently, no. I mean, I can kind of grasp like what the idea is, but like yeah.
But maybe you listen a little bit, you can kind of catch some things here and there.
Yeah.
So it's the same. We're the same generation. We're the same peers. We're peers, and so we understand this. So, I mean, my use of the language wasn't great, but I had my parents, my aunts, my uncles. I grew up listening to the language. And for me, I kind of wanted to preserve that because they were, they're getting old and they're passing away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want a way to preserve how I know Chamorro in this way. So that's why I asked my mom to help me on this project.
What better resource?
What better resource? And, and she's my mom. And so but there was a chance she could have said no, but she didn't. She's like, she was kind of sighing like, what? Shakespeare? I don't like Shakespeare. She just had all this like
I guess you can kind of massage like Shakespearean works into Chamorro. You could say, oh, that's Uncle Bill.
I'm like, Mom, don't worry, trust me, because remember, these are like people, they're characters. And she's like, I'm like, I don't know what to expect, but let's just, can you help me, please? I promise it won't interfere in your TV shows.
Now, Michelle, as many interviews as I've done with you over the years, which have always been, like the highlight of my day. So like, I'm so stoked for this, right? But I typically ask you, why did you pick this particular work? Like if it's a musical, if it's a comedy, if it's a Shakespearean work, it seems fairly evident why The Tempest would be perfectly fit to move into Chamorro, because it's about people on an island, one of whom is pretty much betrayed and like has his own identity, I guess, taken away. So maybe give us a refresher course, or maybe like I hate to use this with an academic, but give us the Cliff Notes version of The Tempest.
like a mini summary. So
please, yeah.
It's about this usurped Duke of Milan, Prospero, who was basically, his kingdom was taken away, and his treacherous brother was the one that usurped the kingdom, and just sort of dumped him on a boat with his daughter, who's just a baby, and said, "Okay, bye." Didn't really care.
Oh my God.
He ends up and washes up on this deserted island, which is inhabited by two indigenous beings, an airy spirit named Ariel, and a servant monster named Caliban. Now, Prospero is a magical person. So, a magical person.
So
yeah,
he is enchanted.
He's a sorcerer. He studies magic. So he has this ability to manipulate the elements, I guess you could say. So he enlists, he colonizes.
Oh, exactly. No, and that's why I think it is absolutely a perfect fit.
Yes. I mean, this is what's great about Shakespeare are the themes. It's like people focus too much on the language and they forget, wait a minute, it's still English. You can understand it. Just listen to the story. Get that out of your head that you can't understand anything, because you can't. And what it's really about are the themes. So we have this familial relationship that's gone sour. Someone is betrayed. He lands on an island. He colonizes these beings because he can. And uses them and plans to take vengeance initially on his brother when their ship happens to be passing by. So he conjures up a tempest, and it's all illusion, and they end up stranded on this island as well. But they're all fine. The ship is actually is not damaged, and over the course of the play, he's thinking through, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And his whole goal was just because he has his daughter, he wants to go back. He wants to go back home, and he wants to make sure his daughter has a good life. So the daughter ends up falling in love with the second male she's ever seen in her life, because her father, the third male she's ever seen in her life.
Which may or may not have happened in our island's history, too.
But it's just like, ooh, who is this handsome Italian guy?
Speaking of good-looking people, okay, wait. Smile first real quick, because this is for... All right, I had to put that on my B-reel.
I realized I should have been looking at my camera, but I was looking at you instead. So.
No problem. No, I mean, the themes and the characterizations and just the overall like sentiment seem to fit, not just the language of Chamorro, but also the story of our people like so well. I mean, we can so easily identify with that.
Because we're human, and it's a story about humans, and so we all go through similar things. No, you don't have to be a duke, but if you understand betrayal, if you understand love, if you understand loss, regret, reconciliation, all that, then yeah, you'll get it. It's ultimately considered a comedy, so it's not like a tragic thing. No one's gonna die, so it's still great fun to listen to, and you'll hear a lot of sort of like Guamisms, I guess you could say, which is fun. And so when people hear, when I'm talking to the actors about it, and I'm like, yeah, how would you react to this? If you heard someone say this, what would you say initially, or what would you do? I said, put that all in there. I'm open to whatever. So it was great fun working with the actors, because they're all from Guam. They're all Chamorro, and so doing this during pandemic times, and everything's locked down, everything was online, and the rehearsal, the recording, the editing was all done online. And so this was really, really an interesting experience, and but I'm glad that it all came together beautifully, and there's a whole story there in that.
Now, Michelle, you've done so much stagecraft, right? In the traditional classic way. Doing this over a podcast, though, you as director, and you said you're interacting with actors, but you're doing it in purely a audio only format. As someone who's been doing this as long as you have, what challenges did that environment present?
The fact that we're not all together in real time. And
no costumes, no set. Yeah.
That kind of makes it a little simpler, because you don't have to worry about those other things. But what's great fun about live theater is that you're all together in real time, and you're all going through this process together in real time. To do it in this way online, because everyone had different schedules. So having to like guide the process individually was interesting.
Okay.
And tried, try to imagine, like, because the other person's not there for them to work off of. So I'd have to remember kind of how that person is, and
So you recorded everybody, was it per scene, like asynchronously? So not everybody was like in the same like Zoom call, and you did it like one time shot, one pass through, and then you actually had to break everything up.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Organization. It's crazy because, and then sometimes people would cancel, or things come up, and so the process took a little longer than anticipated. But I mean, I guess 6 months isn't so bad from beginning to end.
If you're gonna do it right and take the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And this is not the first time the UOG Theater Company has done this. You've also done The Importance of Being Earnest by none other than Oscar Wilde. Also, not the easiest thing to undertake, but you guys pulled that off beautifully. And also Macbeth.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Macbeth. Yes.
Possibly the most popular Scottish legend since Sir William Wallace.
Yes, and it's got witches. So how can you not like Shakespeare? You got magic, witches. It's great.
So is this an ongoing series, Michelle, that we can expect to see more of going forward?
I think only because of the pandemic times, and we were having to teach online. This was sort of my solve, so we could still do theater without having to physically be there, because it wasn't allowed. So now that things have essentially opened up and things are quote unquote back to normal, it's live theater is going to resume again. So.
Oh, fantastic! But no, now you've got 3 works.
Yes.
You're credited for this, and you've got this, on your resume. So you certainly are very, very adept at handling this kind of format. So
thank you so much.
Okay, so obviously you can go to uog.edu and find the theater department. All the links are there. And again, because it's a podcast, you can listen to it in the car. You can listen to it while you're cooking, while you're working out. Take it, break it up into sections. Share with your friends and dissect. There's infinite ways that you can consume this, and all of them totally cool.
And there's a link for a script of Side to Side in English and Chamorro, so that way you can follow along if you're listening to it and you want to listen and see the words in English.
Very nice, because you and I know, because we both went to Sanchez. I was that guy that I almost went blind, like my eyes were always darting back to read the footnotes at the bottom because I couldn't understand what the heck Will was talking about.
Of course.
Okay, Michelle, congratulations, to you. Shift your head over real quick so we can just see that all the world's a stage. I love that.
Sorry, this way. Yeah.
That is the mantra for all time. And so thank you again for sharing your time and your passion. We really appreciate it. And we're going to play a real quick clip from The Tempest, which again is UOG's podcast in Guam's native tongue, in Chamorro, thanks to our friend Michelle Blas. Michelle, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Manango hotagwi inganga za humalo mo gitsapso. Si kuwilep blue. Masaya mo nango hotagi inganga. Lo posisyon mo kalan gonsu. Stefano? Kukwahat tatlo ni Hasti? Hunggan. Bulay barilis prim.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
There's epic, then there's ultra epic. Capture life in vivid resolution with Galaxy's most advanced camera system and the built-in S Pen that puts you in control. Every moment, every angle, from sunrise to sundown and beyond. More striking, more stunning than ever. Find the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra at your nearest iTunes store or online at ite.net and change the way you work and play.
As the Decision 2022 race shapes up, keep it with KUAM News for all the news you need to know as you head to the polls. From weekly candidate profile analysis on the hub on KUAM News HotSpot to our online candidate directory on KUAM.com, special features on KUAM Digital and KUAM News Primetime, plus live coverage of forums and debates. We're your one-stop source on every platform. Stay informed with KUAM News, your news leader, the voice of the Marianas.
Off today, I'm Kelina from Doc's Kitty College.
And I'm Kristen from Doc's Daycare and Preschool.
And we are so honored to be caring for the children of Guam. The governor's child care programs help businesses like ours to really focus on the kids. These programs also help nonprofits and after-school programs and grandparents and so many families.
Visit www.guamchildcare.com to learn more about the governor's child care programs. This ad is paid for with funds administered by DPHSS.
Dance party.
Let's go.
When inspiration strikes, say yes with the new Priority Unlimited credit card from First Hawaiian Bank. Wherever you shop, whatever you're shopping for, you can earn 2% cash back on everything you buy. From small stuff to big stuff to stuff you want. A card that rewards you for every purchase and helps you stay connected to everything that matters.
With Pacific Points, your everyday expenses could be helping you save. Earn points at Shell, Foodies Guam, and IT&E. Then redeem for awesome rewards. Want free fuel from Shell or snacks from Foodies Guam? What about discounts on your IT&E bill, free IT&E prepaid cards, or United Mileage Plus miles? Sign up for free today. Visit PacificPoints.com or download the app. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
The Hotspot continues right here, and it is time, my friends, for the second round of our Candidate Conversation series, where we profile the many Guam men and women who have made the decision and the conscious choice to represent you as members of the legislature. Now, moving forward to November's general election, of course, the men and women that advance past the primary, they got a little bit of work to do. They may change up their strategies, maybe like fine-tune their approach, but nonetheless, they have not wavered from their desire to serve you, and honorably so. So joining us right now on the KUAM couch, and we wish to congratulate both Ian Catling, Dr. Kelly Marsh-Taitano, and David Crisostomo on your very impressive finishes in the primary. So congratulations to you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Any nerves going into this one?
Just cool as a cucumber right now. Just riding this out, you know, just enjoying the ride so far.
So Ian and Dr. Marsh, this is your second time on the couch. David, we did not have the pleasure of being able to meet you the first time around, but we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
All right. This is your first time in KUAM too?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We hope the parking was adequate, you know, like hopefully it wasn't raining.
My truck fit.
The truck fit, okay.
Yeah, the truck fit.
Pickup or lowrider or,
no,
you know?
It's a pretty full-size truck.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Very, very nice.
Yes.
Oh, that's a Guam classic right there. All right. So we are going to give each one of you 60 seconds with which to introduce yourself to the community, and it'll be that camera right there, and we'll just start in order. So Ian Catling, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you very much. Hafa day. My name is Ian Catling, Guahusi Ian Catling, familiar in Hilario Siniclis, Sarasa Zengin, Bali Tres. I am here today just to support our government with all its endeavors. Background is in education. I'm a former Department of Education teacher. I am also a former historic preservation specialist with the Department of Parks and Recs. And the goal here is to make sure that our island is as world-class as our tourism here. Tourism is world-class. We want to make sure our education is world-class. We want to make sure our facilities are world-class. And so that's what our team is focused on.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations once again. Now you said you're related to a family in Balitres.
Yes, correct.
One of your contemporaries in the legislature, I believe Chris Barnett, is also a familiar in Balitres, as well as I believe Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio.
Yes, this has turned out to, this is the reason why cool is a cucumber. The blessings here, this has turned into like a family reunion for me. From Jigu to Maleso, I am finding relatives all over the place, and it is so just humbling. I'm just grateful.
All right, well done in the primary. And I know someone who is very used to having a great many conversations and shaking a lot of hands is former Senator Dr. Kelly Marsh-Taitano. So welcome back.
Oh, well, thanks for having me back. And it's enjoyable to be here with these two. We found a lot in common while we were waiting to start the show.
All right, absolutely. I got to say, we'll give you 60 seconds now. But first, Kelly, I got to say, I love the jacket.
Oh, well, thank you.
That
and
is
matching
tremendous.
top.
Absolutely. very positive, and I think that fits your personality to a T.
Oh, thanks so much.
All right, so you have 60 seconds.
Yes, so Sejus Maasi. My name is Kelly Marsh Taitano. I am a daughter of Guam. I have grown up in Dededo, some of the time here, and even Ipan Talafofo. And I really think that that's helped me understand Guam in many ways. I have a master's degree in Micronesian Studies, a PhD in Cultural Heritage Studies, and I have taught as an adjunct professor for over 14 years at the University of Guam. I am a proven leader. I was a senator in the 35th legislature, and I was able to, even during the pandemic, I was able to pass 12 bills into law, and they were about creating the Sustainable 2050 Guahan Plan, putting together the very first early voter bill, and putting together the Intra-Regional Commerce Commission bill that became law. And I want to get back in there and make sure that it's impaneled and really serves the community of Guam by building up our economy throughout the region.
Certainly, and you said you do feel as if you have unfinished work and you want to get back in the fight.
Absolutely. There are so many things I'd love to continue to do. We have the Trademark Commission, and again, we felt that we would have finished it if the pandemic hadn't started, but so many of our local entrepreneurs and cultural artists and cultural entrepreneurs, they feel like they really need that sort of protection. We don't need these large international companies like Nike or Adidas coming in and taking cultural symbols or some of the hard work that our entrepreneurs have done. And it has happened in the Pacific where things like that have been taken and used by these international companies.
Very true. So well done, Dr. Marsh. I used to pronounce it Adidas too.
Well, apparently
it was also an acronym, I remember, but we can't get into that.
Yeah, in Germany, and I believe he is a German, they said Adidas, and it really threw me for a loop because I had grown up with it being Adidas. But apparently Puma and Adidas were brothers who had a falling out, and they both became international, recognized companies.
She is very, very well read, obviously. And you know what? Professionalism as far as a broadcaster is right out the window on the show, because I'm really going to try and make Dr. Marsh Taitano laugh, because she's got one of the most infectious laughs that I've ever. There you go. That's a little sneak peek of it. So thank you once again. All right, David Crisostomo. Again, a pleasure to have you here, sir. Thank you for your service, because you are a retired member of the United States Navy, which we appreciate.
I did 10 years, I'm sorry.
10 years, okay. Okay, yes. So you have 60 seconds.
Yeah, half a day, everyone. Like I say, thank you, Jason, for having me here. Really appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
My name is David Walter Mantanonia Crisostomo. I'm Guam native. I was born and raised in Ipan Talafofo. Right after, let me give you a little resume of myself. Starting, it's going to not too long, but anyways, I served in the U.S. Navy. After the Navy, I attended college for 2 years out of San Diego Community College. I've worked in the corporate world, did a lot of sales, real estate, in the auto industry. Currently, I'm in Guam. I'm a small business owner. I'm also a veteran. One of the main reasons I'm running is actually after encountering a lot of our veterans here, with their concerns and actually their needs, we need to start addressing it and start hitting it hard. Let me just end for that right now, and we can continue this interview.
All right, very, very well.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask you real quick, Mr.
Yes.
Crisostomo. What meal did you eat, going into the primary election? Because, they say, of course, breakfast is the most important meal. That night, it's a very, very long night. I'm sure all of you, had red eye the next day and everything. But what did you fuel yourself with to really get you going?
I used to drive boats for the U.S. Navy, and I used to drive them 12 hours, and 24 off. Bologna and cheese.
Very nice.
That's it.
Can't go wrong with
And
that.
water.
You got your protein, you got a little bit of the good kind of fat, and you got your carbs.
Yeah, it works.
Very nice. With lettuce or without?
Without, no mayonnaise.
Simple man,
Very
simple
simple,
plan,
works.
Effective solutions. And hopefully that is the same approach that you take into the legislature.
Yes, I'm looking at that.
All right. Okay, so let's go into our Q&A portion right now. And just like we did with our introductions, each of you will have 60 seconds. So Ian, we'll start with you. I know when it came to the election results, there were 16 Republicans, 15 advanced. You were right on the cusp there.
Right on the cusp.
And as you've said, you've been all the way from Jigo all the way down to Humatek, having conversations, meeting people, trying to get the word out about yourself and the work that you would like to do.
That's right.
Because now This is for all the marbles. There's only 15 that's going to make it of the 15 on either side, right?
That's correct.
How do you actually position yourself in a more favorable top of mind, if you will, like in the eyes of the voter that they might consider you?
Well, the intention is for more community outreach during this time period. The difficulty is being able to get the time in. This election happened, I had too much time in the beginning, and then now I have not enough time. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this. So ideally, I would like to do more community outreach. I was planning on doing, back in the day, just to support Chamorro heritage, the chiefs used to engage in a feat of strength, you know, a display of strength to show that they deserve, through meritocracy, through their own efforts, to be who they are within the community. So the intention is before the general elections, I'm going to run around the island. So from Malesu to Jigo.
Have you formally announced that yet, or is this an exclusive?
This is today. This is exclusive.
You heard it right here on HotSpot, everybody. You are going to run around the island.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, we're a 30-mile long by 7-mile wide island. It's way longer than that when you go all the way around the perimeter.
This is turning into Forrest Gump. People want to join me from different parts of the leg. They like, I wanted to run here, so they'll join me over there. So
from that moment on, Ian Catling was running.
Literally and
figuratively, but very nice.
Yes, that is the intention.
Okay, so and again, this is symbolic of like you said, our history.
That is correct.
Proving your worth and proving your fitness.
I wanted to swim, but then I did the research and it was like 200 miles, and I was like, no, absolutely not. So I compromised. We're running.
Very well. Do you know Frank the Crank Camacho? Like
yes.
Yeah, he did a similar feat. I want to say maybe about close to 2 years ago. He was raising funds and everything. So you could talk to him about like what route to take and everything like that. So Frank,
this is going to be a vision quest.
Very nice.
That's the intention of this whole process.
That's a very good movie from the 80s too, wrestling.
Fantastic.
I know our guy Mike Villagomez is a wrestler too, so he knows about that movie. All right, so let's go. Very well done, Ian.
Thank you.
Okay, Kelly, you did very, very favorably. You were right in the middle of the pack for the Democrats. You finished at number 10. You've been through this before, knowing the mathematics and how it works and everything. Were you satisfied with your position and how the voters of Guam came out and lent you their support? And do you change up anything strategically heading into the general?
Well, we had an interesting situation where we had 21 people contending for those 15 seats. And so you can't take anything for granted. So I was pleased to come in 10. And of course, you always want to do a little bit better. You want to work a little bit harder. You want to reach out a little bit more. And so that's definitely in the works. To do all of that, reaching out to the community more, to the nonprofits, the organizations, and to some of the agencies as well.
Mm-hmm. Does it feel different this time around, with the approach you take and, people know your face, they remember the good work that you did, they've been able to dialogue with you before. What is different about running this time and trying to, not really reintroduce yourself, but like just telling people it's like, hey, I want to, again, get back in the fight?
Right. Well, that has been a really nice experience where people are very positive. A whole lot of people do remember me. And so it's nice to have that recognition as a person. And, I still have people that remember my father very favorably. So along with wanting to hear their concerns or what they want to see happen, and it's so interesting because it's really a wide arena of things that people have as interests, all of which are important, of course. But it's an opportunity to have some of those memories about my father and my mother as well, or even my uncle and aunt who taught down at Inalahan. And so I really treasure those because, it's been fairly recently that I lost both my parents. And so I treasure those moments and I really appreciate anybody who's sharing those. But most important during this season is to hear their concerns and find out how I can continue to serve, not just for the now, but I really am working for a bright future. Okay. That long-term planning, and with that Guahan 2050 sustainability plan law that I put into place, it updated our comprehensive development plan, taking it from when it was put into place decades ago by the Bordallo administration. So yeah, just wanting to help them have a bright future.
All right, and of course it is written, you know, honor your father and your mother, and, you know, our condolences to you.
Who was a runner.
Yeah, yeah, honor your, our condolences to you, you know, for the loss of your parents. You know, I lost my dad 4 years ago, so, you know, our prayers are with you, of course.
Yeah, thank you.
David, like to talk to you. One thing that I noticed about your signs, I was up in Jigo just over the long holiday weekend. You're one of the few candidates who actually shoots like their picture like straight on. Some people do like a side profile thing, but your signs, I may say, like as someone who was trying to get into the advertising industry way back, very, very welcoming, very warm, very engaging.
Thank you.
Do you actually take that approach in trying to promote your platform to people and the things that you stand for?
Yeah, let me just state this, you know, there's a reason why I say we connect. You know, it's because basically, you know, for the past month, I've been really connecting with a lot of the grassroots, a lot of the normal common people and needs. And you know, for me, whatever they're saying to me is really important, okay? And to channel with it, you know, grab those things, those challenges, you know, and work on it. And, you know, and here's the biggie for me right now in regards to why I'm running for senator. I mean, we have a serious drug problem.
Yes.
Okay?
We do.
Okay? We can't put that on the back burner. And you know, because I own a business and I meet a lot of different people, a lot of first responders, right? And the best information you can get is down in the foundation. Regular police officers, okay? I didn't realize that we were so undermanned. Okay? We have a problem there. And I'm just looking at them. I asked them a few questions. I said, so how much are you getting paid, my friend? You know, and they're giving me this number and I'm looking at them and I say, you know what? You know, for me, their pay is not enough, okay, for what they do, okay? Because I could relate to them because I was a veteran, okay? They, you know, when they leave home each day, whether you're a fireman or a police officer, okay, you don't know if they're coming back.
Exactly.
Okay? They miss so many birthdays, anniversaries, you know, it's just like being deployed, you know, and I feel them. And the other thing that I asked them, I said, so by the way, what's you guys' retirement like, you know? And they were telling me, I said, why isn't it like 25 years? I said, do people understand all the stress level you guys are going through? You know, and they said, yeah. I said, you know, if elected, I'm gonna push that. And just excuse my language, even if we have to start kicking knees, we need to get that done because we need to take care of them. Okay, they're the
You're going to have to kick a lot more than leaves just to get this
knees,
job done.
Knees.
Yeah,
We're talking about
yeah.
knees. Yeah, I'm not afraid. You know, I don't.
I'm thinking of putting some shoe leather in someone's behind.
No, you know, I'm ready. I'm ready to help them. Okay, and likewise also the veterans. I hear it. It's a lot. It's for me, and I'm looking at it. Right, it is a mess. Okay, they're not.
What
correctly.
specifically about the treatment or mistreatment, as it were, of
they're
veterans?
Not. For me, okay. Because I'm a veteran, okay, my first ship actually, I was awarded on that command 3 battle leads. That's battle efficiency. That means you're on top of the food chain, okay? If you could be man, you could have the weapons. If you don't have the bullets, you know what I'm saying? You're useless, okay? So I see these guys, that's what they're saying, we're not man enough. So maybe they're working overtime, you know, they're doing more hours than they're supposed to be. And that's just, you know, it just creates a lot of stress.
Absolutely.
I have one more thing to add.
All right, so well done, all of you, and we are just getting started. Yep, very well done. We are just getting started, everybody, so please stay tuned because there is more candid conversations when the HotSpot returns right after this.
Half a day, I'm Kalina from Doc's Kitty College.
And I'm Kristen from Doc's Daycare and Preschool.
And we are so honored to be caring for the children of Guam. The governor's childcare programs help businesses like ours to really focus on the kids. These programs also help nonprofits and after-school programs and grandparents and so many families.
Visit www.guamchildcare.com to learn more about the governor's childcare programs. This ad is paid for with funds administered by DPHSS.
As the Decision 2022 race shapes up, keep it with KUAM News for all the news you need to know as you head to the polls. From weekly candidate profile analysis on the Hub on KUAM News HotSpot to our online candidate directory on KUAM.com, special features on KUAM Digital and KUAM News Primetime, plus live coverage of forums and debates. We're your one-stop source on every platform. Stay informed with KUAM News, your news leader, the voice of the Marianas.
It's Feed Me Fridays on KUAM News Hotspot. Good eats, good company, and beyond good chow. With Team KUAM checking out Guam's most tantalizing, tempting menu items every Friday on KUAM News Hotspot or stream online. Brought to you by Devondale, real milk from free grazing cows.
You are watching the Hotspot and you are watching Candidate Conversations. And if you are like me, you're having the time of your life right now because we're really getting to know the candidates, the Guamanians who want to use their talents, their passion, their skills, their intellect, their love for Guam to serve you in the legislature. Now, we are going to go to Ian, Dr. Kelly Marsh-Taitano, and David in just a moment, but we have some video questions that our community members actually sent in. So this first one is from a young person. Meet Gabriel.
My name is Gabriel, and I'm a first grader. My question is, how will you make Guam safer for kids like me?
Very, very cute. Oh, speaking of representing people, so we are going to take Gabriel's question. Gabriel, thank you so much. So a first grader wondering what each of you is going to do to make Guam safe for his generation, for Gabriel and his peers. So we'll start with you, Ian, on the topic of public safety for the young people.
Public safety for the young people. Gabriel is just too mungy. So,
and you're a teacher too.
And I'm a teacher. It's just great job, parents. So part of our plan is to establish sovereign wealth funds for the island of Guam. And this will help out with public safety, education, and infrastructure. Those are state-owned funds that you can use to invest in the global market to accrue wealth. And so the sovereign wealth fund, those can be established for public safety. As our senatorial candidate Chrysostom was saying, how are we going to fix these issues? All of the issues comes down to funding. And so even though I'm there for supporting education, for infrastructure, for local incentive plans, how we're going to accomplish all of that is through sovereign wealth funds.
Oh, very nice. All right, very well done. All right, Dr. Kelly Marsh-Taitano, here is your question. And this next video comes to us from Evelyn Duenas.
Hi, my name is Evelyn Duenas, and I am an individual with disability who lives on Guam for many years, all through my childhood. My question for the candidates is, when will we have services reliable for individuals with disabilities, needing personal assistance services, and reliable, comfortable, safe transportation run 7 days a week, including Sundays and holidays.
All right, I've seen Evelyn all over town. She's a real delight to have a question with. But Dr. Kelly Marsh-Taitano, she was saying she's wondering that as a person with disabilities, she's wondering what you'll do should you be reelected and reclaim your seat in the legislature to have personal assistance services and specifically reliable, safe, and comfortable forms of transportation.
You know, I've had the pleasure, as you have, of meeting Miss Evelyn. I distinctly recall having some conversations with her at the GPO. And so she brings up a really important issue, and we have to take it very seriously. We have to do what we can to improve mass transportation, improve these other services. You know, similar to what we were talking about before, it's good to have the framework there, but we are having some flexibility and relief with our funds. We've gotten certain relief put into place, and so we need to look at high needs like this and apply those funds there. Our people have waited too long to be adequately considered and supported in our community. So I definitely would be fighting for that and taking a closer look at it.
And one word I know you always use as someone who does speak fluent Chamorro is inafamaulik, and making sure that absolutely none of our people are left behind or uncared for.
Absolutely, and you're very kind with the fluent Chamorro. My Fino Chamorro is DDD, but you know, I do try, and I'm really proud of the couple of times I've actually dreamt in Chamorro. So I don't know if others have here.
Oh, very
but,
nice.
You know, I was taking Chamorro at the time, and we were working on it on a daily basis, and was quite amazed to have had dreams in ChamorroNet, because it is DDD. They were very simple dreams, you know, pick up the pencil, turn off the light switch, things like that. But I found that to be very cool. But
the only dreams I've ever had in Chamorro was my grandmother, God rest her soul, saying "Ombi Jason." You know, so those are my Chamorro, and they're very, very, yeah, agugwa, super, super. All right, so thank you very much, Kelly. All right. Now, of course, Ian is our resident educator, and David, for your question, we go to another island educator. This video question comes to us from John Camacho.
Hi, my name is John, and I'm in education. My question is specifically for the candidates who aren't sitting in a senatorial position right now. What are some of the inefficiencies you've seen from the current legislative body that you'd like to address if you're elected?
Very interesting question, and thank you, John, for that. I know John's done like a couple stories with us. He's a very, very bright young man. He's got some really, really good ideas. Very, very good, very well represented is John, of course. So David, he was saying, not being a member of the legislature right now, from your vantage point and your perspective, what are some of the inefficiencies that you see with the current legislative body? And if in fact elected, how would you change that? What will you do differently?
You know what I just like observing, you know, and looking, okay? First of all, whether you're Republican or Democrat, we all need to learn to migrate, okay? We all to start, you know, working together. I see sometimes, you know, because we're all Chamorros, you know, at the end of the day, and we're all fighting and trying to work things just for the best of the island. It's a very simple process. What was the other one he was asking?
Just saying, like, what are some of the inefficiencies you see with current senators, and what will you do differently?
You know, I'll work with them, and I don't mind reaching across the aisle just to accomplish something that's needed. You know, I'm not looking for wants, it's what we need to move forward. As you know, for Guam, for the people of Guam.
That's a very good concept. I'm sure
I'm
sure the lovely lady sitting to the right of you would say it's easier said than done, but you know, it is an ambitious goal.
You know, you don't have to sugarcoat this thing. You know, I
Good
probably
point.
speak very blunt, but sometimes we may have to be blunt to accomplish what we need to get done.
Very good.
Very simple.
And I think that's a perfect answer, so thank you, David.
Thank you very much.
Very well done. All right, we have some, we are calling this the last five. We have a lightning round, if you will.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to put your thinking caps on. These aren't, you know, I mean, you know, you're not gonna have to give another dissertation, Kelly. You've already done that once. And Ian, this isn't a pop quiz, so you know, don't don't hold me against that. But just some slice of life things that we'd like to know about each of you. So we'll start again in order. So we'll go real down the road real fast. Okay, Ian, favorite movie?
The Six Limitations.
Okay, very nice. Kelly, favorite movie?
Same question. You know, that's really kind of tough. I feel like I haven't watched a movie in kind of forever, so, you know, with the pandemic. So I'm going to go to a go-to of books that I really read avidly growing up, and it was the Dr. Dolittle series.
Very nice.
And some of the
those were good
mystery
movies too.
Series.
Okay.
Yeah,
For some reason, I thought you were going to say My Fair Lady, but you know, I thought Rex
You know,
Harrison,
I had
musical
a Jane
person.
Austen period.
Okay.
And I do enjoy those, but as I've gotten older, I like our part of the world so much that I've kind of left that behind.
Very
and
nice.
Very much more about our own locally produced, Pacific-centered sort of movies.
Okay, that makes perfect sense that Dr. Kelly March-Santo would be into Jane Austen. You are someone of sense and sensibility, of course, in my opinion. All right, David Crisostomo, your favorite movie, sir?
All the Rambos.
Okay, all the Rambo, very good. If I had to hold you to just one of them, would you do part two where, you know, he had like the explosive, the arrows and?
You know, it all starts with number one, so we have to start with number one.
Okay.
I like the first one.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
It wasn't my war! I can't even get a job driving cars! I've seen that movie like 1,000 times. All right. Okay. Dr. Kelly March Taito kind of let the cat out of the bag for this one, but our next round, Ian, what is the last book you read?
Chogyam Trungpa, Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism.
Very cool. So a little bit of Zen mentality. Perhaps,
he takes Buddhism and explains it into greater detail and depth by providing more humanity to the text.
Okay, if we get any money from Amazon for this segment and everything like that, we'll make sure to give you a cut for your excellent recommendation.
Please.
All right, Kelly, the last book you read, not necessarily your favorite.
Well, you know, I did a lot of research for Guampedia in the last couple of years, and so I was reading a lot actually about World War II. Post-World War II, we're really trying to beef up the 1950s, 1960s, and 70s sort of era. So what I found really interesting, and I'd love to see a movie about it, is about that period of time, because the characters that were involved, we had Harold Ickes, who was the Secretary of the Interior, and he's a self-proclaimed curmudgeon. And so the national and international battle between him and the Secretary of the Navy was epic. And so I can picture Tom Hanks being the Secretary of the Navy, and I'm not quite sure who would be Harold Ickes, but they were really key in setting up things. Harold Ickes was for indigenous rights to a degree.
Okay, and I got to give you 5 seconds.
Self-determination, and some of those things that we really treasure out of the United Nations, he was really key in setting those up and in helping fight for the Organic Act and civil rights for tomorrow.
All right, so we asked for a book, we got a movie. We asked for a movie, we got a book. Very creative.
Sure.
Well done. All right, David Crisostomo, the last book you read.
Okay, the last book I read, I've been reading for a while. As a matter of fact, for over 10, 15 years, but I always refer back to it and I always go there. Rich Man, Poor Man. Yeah.
Okay, who wrote that?
Actually, the reason why I like reading that, because it's built characters. It just makes, it put this thinking process of your life. And what it does, it creates self-esteem, and more positive.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a very good book, and I always
also
read
probably
it.
keeps you very, very well grounded and humble, which is a trait of all tomorrows.
You have to.
All right, well, very well done. All right, next question. Okay, and we need to make this real quick because we're running out of time. But Ian, your favorite professional sports team? Who do you ride or die for?
Oh, Green Bay Packers.
Packers, go Pack, go.
It's owned by Green Bay, so that's why I love that. I also went to school in Wisconsin, but it's the only franchise in the NFL that's owned by the town.
Okay, so if you had to pick one between Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, or Bart Starr, who are you going to go with?
I got to go Favre all the way.
There you go. The only person who will ever wear number 4 in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Again, good answer. All right, Kelly, are you much of a sports fan? Who would be your favorite professional sports team?
And
we got to limit this to 10-minute answers.
Yeah. My father was such an avid sports fan. He was a basketball coach, a running coach, a track and field official, like all his adult life. So he would really struggle with me in not watching professional sports. But one of his proudest moments, so when I was in Australia, I was working on my PhD. One would like to think that he was proud of me for my PhD, and yes, he was.
We got to wrap it up real quick.
His proudest moment was that the best female basketball player in the world was from the same town, and I actually stood next to her at a hardware store. So that was his favorite moment.
Australia women's basketball is world renowned. Yeah. The Boomers. The Boomers and what do they call I'm forgetting it right now.
My father could have told you.
Yeah, the Australian basketball, I believe, is ranked second in the world right now. All right, David Crisostomo, your favorite professional sports team, if you would, please,
Okay, I would like to consider them professional. Talafofu Rangers.
Nice.
You know why? Because I am an alumni of the Talafofu Rangers. I used to play ball for the Rangers back in the 70s.
Okay, what position?
I was a catcher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, who's your favorite catcher? I'm thinking you're a Yogi Berra guy.
I don't remember Paul Diego, who used to play with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like in the major leagues, maybe like Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench.
I started when I was Little League.
Okay.
So can I just share one experience that
real quick. We got about 20 seconds.
This is very important. As I was making my round down, during the primary, down in Mariso, I met this group of kids. you know, and when I was there with them, you know, we chummy in there for like 30 minutes. I was talking to them. None of them even had a cell phone in their hand. I was so proud. So they were out there playing football. I was joining them. You know, we were just having fun. And as I was looking at them, it was bringing me back to my childhood, you know. So I just wanted to mention that because it meant a lot for me.
All right. All right, so well done, David Crisostomo. Well done, Dr. Kelly Marsh-Taitano, and well done, Ian Catling. Obviously, very, very passionate, very knowledgeable, very well-rounded, and each of them really, really loves to talk. So if you should happen to see them heading into the general election, stop them on the side of the street, just strike up a conversation with them, because that's what we did right here, and we appreciate each and all of you for giving us some of your time. I know heading into the general, there's not a lot of it, but we wish you all the best in your campaign.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
That is going to do it. There you go. Hey, that is going to do it. Let's all throw one of those up. Love, everybody. That's what we need in this world. That is Candidate Conversations, and that is the hotspot for today. Have a wonderful lunch. We'll see you tonight for Primetime at 6. Bye-bye.